ready to turn right?
Yeah.
Kiss Horseshoe, rockin'! Wow!
Podcast Rock City.
What's up, everybody? Joe here from Podcast Rock City. Hey, I want to thank you guys for listening to the last show. It was the Paul Stanley Q&A from his book on the Kiss Cruise 4, and it was really cool. Thanks for all your questions, and, it was pretty plain. It wasn't a lot of stuff you hadn't heard or knew from before or from reading his book, but still it was pretty cool to hear him talk about it, and I really enjoyed things like hearing him talk about Eric Carr, how he would get tricked by the band or do something that was green, because he was new, and he would always say schmuck like that. That was really funny and interesting in the story about Paul on the catamaran and having to pee in the sink and put his foot in the sink. That's funny. And they did, if you go on Podcast Rock City's Facebook page, I did post the picture of the Brussels sprouts, the Paul Stanley Brussels sprouts. They did cook them on the boat and serve them. I did not try them. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not try them. I know they had cherries in them and stuff like that, and there was a huge pan of them, and they were being eaten because, people are like, oh, Paul Stanley's, recipe, I've got to, try these, but not me, baby. Brussels sprouts, evil. I have a friend named Crystal that's her favorite vegetable, but still, no, not doing it. Anyway. I wanted to tell you guys I had a great time on the boat. A lot of you that are listening, I met on the boat, and you guys were wonderful. I really appreciate you guys sitting and eating with me and just sitting and talking with me. And, I'd be in line and you would do an interview, a video interview with me or whatever. And tons of you I took pictures of your tattoos and put them on Facebook. It was a lot of fun, and I really hope that I can figure out a way to go to Kiss Cruise 5. Now, one of the things I can tell you from Doc McGee's Q&A is that they were even talking about taking the cruise from somewhere else, maybe Europe, starting there, in which case, I can't make it. and it's not, it's not that I don't appreciate people from other countries coming to the U.S. and taking the boat out of Miami. You guys are amazing to do something like that. It's just that I can't afford to fly, overseas like a lot of people can. To Miami, because I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, it's a little easier. But, if I had to go to Germany or something like that, or, anywhere else where the plane ride was going to be $500 or $600 or more, I'm just going to have to watch it with the rest of you sitting at home. Okay, so I wanted to talk about a little bit about it, and then I want to get into the set lists for the show. That was my biggest topic for the day. So, Eric Carr, his birth, his death anniversary is coming up. He's on my mind. Okay, Eric Singer. Am I going to get letters about that? Okay, Eric Singer did the Almost Famous contest, where basically they took drummers, guitar players, and bass players and put them all together to perform Kiss songs, and that was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. I didn't see that they picked a winner or anything like that, but the coolest thing is that they took all these people and put them together to become a band, and then they practiced and rehearsed, and then they performed for everybody, and that was pretty cool. Tommy Thayer judged the Halloween costume contest, and that was pretty cool. I was there for that entire thing. He signed a lot of autographs, which upset a few people because we're not supposed to ask for autographs. When we get to the cruise, usually when we get there or just a little bit after, there's always a gift for us, plus a poster autographed by the entire band. That's to take away that whole thing of asking for autographs. What I did notice was that there seems to be either a lot of collectors or dealers, because after the Q&A, the Kiss Q&A on the top deck of the boat, all of a sudden I started seeing these really obscure items being pulled out, and they were signing them. And yeah, you know what, it's whatever. But I can tell you this, if I go on the boat next year, I'm not going to honor that agreement, that verbal agreement of not asking for autographs. If all those guys are going to do it, then I'm going to do it because, well, hell, it's not right. And I want them to, just like anybody else. But I also want Kiss to wander the boat. And if they're going to wander the boat, because they're going to do it because nobody's going to walk up and ask for a picture every 10 seconds or an autograph every 10 seconds. Or, Gene, do you have any pics on you? Or, stuff like that. That's the only annoyance of the cruise, is that, there are people that either don't know the rules of engagement or just don't care. But, like, I saw a guy pull out a Gene Simmons solo album that, had the cover had his, that really artsy Gene Simmons painting where his head is to the side and there's blood dripping off his tongue. That was the cover. And I was like, yeah, that's not something that you just get. I'm pretty sure that was made. And I was like, that's a dealer. That's somebody that's getting Gene to sign it, taking it home, and then selling it. And, these guys hoarded the front of the stage. They were all over, they were, getting picks and drumsticks and that was really annoying. And there's a little drama on Facebook about it, but that's for another time. Let me continue with so Tommy did the Halloween costume contest, and that was pretty cool. He was a lot of fun for that. Gene did the pick throwing contest. Everybody tried to throw picks into these buckets, and then whoever got the most points went up against each other, and the winner of that went up against Gene. I will tell you that Gene lost in the finals, and that was cool. And then Paul did the Q&A, which you saw or you heard on my last show. All right, so then I went to Doc McGee, and Doc McGee had his Q&A, and they asked a few questions, and then this question happened.
I don't know, does everybody think that the set list is cool enough? I probably shouldn't have asked that question. Hey, I don't write the songs, okay? I don't make the set list up. Do you want more obscure songs? Well, I can tell you there's like 3 or 4 songs I never heard before that they played in this set. But, I think they try to, they'll try again tonight to do a few more.
So on the first night of the set list, the songs that they played were Creatures of the Night, Psycho Circus, War Machine, Plaster Caster, Tears Are Falling, Let Me Go Rock and Roll, Lick It Up, Calling Dr. Love, Heller Hallelujah, I Love It Loud, Detroit Rock City, Love Gun, Black Diamond, Shout It Out Loud, The Oath, and Rock and Roll All Night. Now, I will tell you that when the show started and Creatures of the Night broke in, I was into it. I was into it. I love hearing that song. It's so powerful. Eric's kick drums are always so heavy. His feet weigh, 3 tons, and when he does it, it's awesome. But other than that, I was excited to hear Plaster Caster. I was excited to hear Tears Are Falling. I was excited to hear Let Me Go Rock and Roll, because I always am. Heller Hallelujah was cool, but I could have done without it. Calling Dr. Love was all right. The Oath, I never saw them perform that. I will tell you that they performed it last cruise. I wasn't on it, but they didn't really rehearse it like they had it rehearsed for this cruise. The other thing was, on Kiss Cruise 1, they had done in the acoustic set a whole bunch of little snippets of Elder stuff, which some people really want to hear because, they don't perform it. They never perform it, never have performed it. And of course they have a little bit, but not like, not like the Kiss Cruise people are like, man, I just paid, $5,000 to come on this boat. I want to hear something completely different. So they went ahead, and Doc McGee goes ahead and makes that mistake. You can hear it in his voice when he says, oh, maybe I shouldn't have asked that question, because once he did, the crowd let him know. Nobody pulled a punch. Nobody said, oh, that set was wonderful, Doc. Everybody went, no, that sucked. And it wasn't that it sucked, I guess. It's just what It's just when you go on that boat, you don't want to see what you saw, during the summer on the tour. And it was exactly the same set from the LA Kiss concert. I think minus the Oath, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that, but so people really wanted something different. They want to get on that boat and they want to hear something different. Now, what I started hearing, and I don't know if this is true, was that Doc went back to the cabins where Paul and Gene were and was like, these people just went off on me about the set list. You guys got to change it up. I even heard so much as Doc yelled at Paul. I don't know how much that's true, but the next night it was completely obvious. Creatures of the Night, Psycho Circus, Parasite. I would have loved to have heard Parasite. Plaster Caster, War Machine, Making Love. Duh. Play that song every set. She. Duh. Play it every set. Hell or Hallelujah. You can dump that. Put something else in. Watching You, Detroit Rock City, Do You Love Me, Love Gun, Black Diamond, Shout It Out Loud, The Oath, Rock and Roll All Night. You can see the difference. I'm not sure why it took, Doc having to ask the mistake question of, what'd you think of the set list last night? For them to get that we don't want to hear the same old songs. Now everybody's different. Like me, I want to hear Love Gun every set because it's my favorite Kiss song. But you still gotta dump a bunch of War Machine, there's other, we've heard it. God of Thunder, we've heard it. Find something else, for Gene to sing. Eric didn't sing a song. He has, songs that he could sing. He had that, one song that everybody loved. And then he sung it on Kiss Cruise 2. And then, Tommy didn't sing anything. He doesn't have to sing Shock Me. Although, by the way, he did sing it in the acoustic set. And that was really strange because of the way it was put together. I'm going to put the acoustic set video on Podcast Rock City's Facebook page and on the .com. Go and watch it, and there's just a little thing between Paul and Tommy. Hey, Tommy, you feel like playing Shock Me? And then it's really interesting. I almost felt like it was a jab at the fans that don't like him, but you can decide on that. Paul, shoot, every one of us could write a set list that would be amazing to hear on the Kiss Cruise. And like I said, there's going to be people out there that are going to go, oh yeah, but I really want to hear Detroit Rock City. Okay, so you got your core songs. Detroit Rock City, Love Gun, Shout It Out Loud, Rock and Roll All Night. I mean, those four, you don't need anything else that's core. Throw everything else in there that's going to be totally obscure and different, and, throw in, shoot, anything off of Creatures, anything off of, throw something new in for the Elder. Everybody, once they hear a song off the Elder, they're like, man, I'm really seeing some shit here. This is different. People don't get this. It makes it feel worth it to spend the money. Now, don't get me wrong. The cruise is totally worth every penny just on the people that you will meet. It's like a little Kiss City, and everybody gets to know you. And you can sit down with anybody anywhere and just start talking Kiss. And of course, it's an awesome experience, But at the same time, you want to hear the music, that's obscure. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the boat, because that's really cool. I don't know if I mentioned this on the last one. In every room, there's a TV, and there's a 24-hour Kiss TV channel. It's concerts, it's movies, it's documentaries, it's everything. If you get tired, you're not going to run out of things to do. Even if you go to your room and just turn on the TV, there's a Kiss channel. I watched Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park at least twice and caught it a couple more times. It's just like in a rotation. And then like Kiss Confidential ran, and then they all ran. The only one that I didn't see was Kiss Exposed, but it still could have been in there. I just, didn't catch it. But that was really awesome because, you could just at any moment lay down in your bed, turn the TV on, and whatever is on, but it's always something cool. And it's not just newer Kiss concerts. It's everything off of Kissology, makeup, no makeup, whatever. They just ran. Down the hallways, everywhere you went except the cafeteria, Kiss is playing over the PA. Outside, inside, in the bathrooms, everywhere you go. You're hearing Kiss. When you get to the cafeteria, it's a little different. It's kind of strange because you're outside and you're hearing Kiss play, Rock Bottom, and then you walk into the cafeteria and there's like Gwen Stefani playing or some shit like that. But for the most part, it's Kiss everywhere, everything, especially on the top deck. Even in the in the cafeteria where you're eating, there's not Kiss playing, but if you go on the back deck, where there's a lot of people eating on the back of the boat, they have a PA set up out there and Kiss is playing out there. So that's really awesome. I'll tell you that the Motley Crue tribute band called Crude, I liked them a lot. I did not catch a lot of the bands because I don't know. It didn't move me like it did before. Pat Travers, I watched a couple of songs and that was cool. Robin, I watched a couple of songs and that was cool. But I wasn't lucky enough to be there when other people from, like I heard that Paul Stanley's son got on stage and jammed with them. I heard, that Tommy and Eric got on stage with a band. I think it was Pat Travers and jammed with him. But, the boat's so big, you can't be everywhere, all the time. Back to the set list. I know I'm jumping around a little bit. I'm sorry about that. But, I'm curious, give me 3 songs that you would have to hear on that boat, that would make it worth, the money you spent. Just 3. Send them to podcastrockcity1, the number 1, at gmail.com. And I'm going to read every one I get online on the show next week. Every single one. I'm going to read them. I don't care if I have 100. I'm going to read them all. And I'm curious, what songs you would have to hear. Like me, I'll give you my list next time, but I'm also next show, I'm going to start talking about Kiss in Vegas. I'm letting a lot of the video compile so I can get an idea of, how it sounds and how it looks. I will tell you, as a little teaser for the next show, that I have thoroughly enjoyed the video. I think the stage is awesome. I will talk about the music on the next show and the set lists, and I guess that's pretty much it for Kiss Cruise. I think other than the set list next week of songs that I want to hear from you guys that you want to hear, I am going to stop talking about Kiss Cruise until next year. All right, so let's talk subscription. If you're listening to this show for the first time, please subscribe. Share it with your friends. Tell your friends. If you're on Facebook, go find Podcast Rock City on Facebook. Friend us. Follow us. I put video and pictures and stuff up. And also you can email me any questions of a show that you would like me to do, or, anything like that. And I will, take it into consideration. If you have a good one, maybe I'll, send you a message and say, hey, do the show with me. Let's Skype it in and do a show together. All right. Don't forget that you can also go to podcastrockcity.com. There's a spot there where you can click on shirts and you can buy a shirt or a hat or whatever you want. And Ken Mills from Podkist made them and designed them, and they look wonderful, and I thank him again. Don't forget to go and listen to all the other Kiss podcasts, whether it be Strange Ways from Jody or the Kiss Room from Matt Porter, or Podkist, or, there's Decibel Geek, there's Pods and Sods, there's Kisstory Science Theater, there's, Pod of Thunder. There's so many of them. And Cassius Morris, man, I don't know if you're listening to my show right now. Most likely you are. You are doing a great job with your new show. And if you guys, man, Adam Carolla is, I think, going to take Cassius under his wing and start helping him out, and that's amazing. Make sure you go check out Cassius' show, and I think that's pretty much it. I love you guys. Thanks a lot for all the attention you gave me on Kiss Cruise 4. It was a lot of fun, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Greetings from Genville, Kiss Army. Strange Ways Podcast wants to invite you to a rock and roll party. Join Jody Hannott, D-Rock, and Clinton Harris for the strangest Kiss podcast known to our scientists at this time.
Really missed him.
Your Kiss Army bros celebrate and discuss the gods of thunder. You can find the Earth versions on Podomatic, Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, and blah, blah, blah. Just Google it. Thank you and keep on rocking.
They are serious.
You wanted the best, you got the best. And if you want the hottest show on Monco Radio, join us in the Kiss Room. The Kiss Room is a monthly radio broadcast celebrating the hottest band in the world. It's your place for all things Kiss and some. For broadcast dates and all information, go to thekissroom.com. The Kiss Room broadcasts live and worldwide on Monco Radio, where music and minds meet.
This is a really big moment.
Hi, I'm Cassius Morris, host of Kiss podcast Creatures of the Net. Our show content includes current events of the hottest band in the land, exclusive interviews, and the trials and tribulations of being a Kiss fan. You can check out our show at www.creaturesofthenet.com and on Facebook or Twitter. And if you don't know the website name by now,
Oh, you better learn it.
we'll see you here.
History Science Theater, the most civilized.
Yeah. Come on.
Respectful.
Just imagine Gene with like a washtub bass. Boom, 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 boom.
And serious.
No, wait. Excuse me, Bob. You're gonna come over and do my album.
Kiss podcast on the web. History Science Theater. We bust balls because we can.
Doctors define modern rock disorder as a sudden, intense drop in musical taste, affecting all facets of the victims' lives and the lives of those around them. Over 20 million Americans suffer. Do you? Is your newfound love of Axe body spray, leather wristbands, and mountains of hair care products driving those close to you crazy? Has your overwhelming desire to crank Nickelback, drink a sixer of Natty Ice, and yell at girls from the back of a pickup truck seriously impaired your work or social life? The Decibel Geek Podcast offers new hope. The Decibel Geek Podcast, the only podcast proven effective for MRD. The Decibel Geek Podcast corrects the chemical imbalance created by listening to bands like Theory of a Dead Man and Three Doors Down, so that with time and your hosts Chris and Aaron's help, you can move toward recovery. MRD hurts. The Decibel Geek Podcast can help. Visit www.decibelgeek.com to begin the road to recovery.
It's time for some cheap talk. You're listening to Trick Chat.
Their mommy's all right, their daddies are all right, they just seem a little weird. They even got their Kiss records out. This is Ken from the Podkiss. Join me, Matt, Andrew, and BJ as we talk about 4 great guys and 3 great chords. Cheap Trick. If you're a Kiss fan, chances are you checked them out. So please check out our show, Cheap Talk with Trick Chat, available for now in the Podkiss feed.
Keep cheap trickin'.
Someone, somewhere, is needing to hear from you. Someone needing to know that you care. Care enough to give the gift of Podkiss. Tell a friend about Podkiss today. Download us on iTunes, friend us on Facebook, and rock your ass out. Podkiss.
That's a picture of Joseph Kiss Sr.,
who came up with the vision of KISS in 1753. Right, Joseph Kiss.
That's, of course, a picture of him without makeup.
That's right, Mr. Joseph Kiss Sr.
All right.
Hi, KISS fans. This is J.R. Smalling, and I'm pleased to announce the release of our new book, Out on the Streets, written by me and the other members of the original KISS crew. This book chronicles the glory days of the hottest band in the land from 1974 to 1976. You'll hear the real tales of what it was like to be on the road with KISS during those early years. For more information or to purchase, visit our website, www.theoriginalkisscrew.com. That's crew with a K. You wanted the book and you got it, and we hope that you enjoy it.